Oh boy, I can't believe I'm doing this, but here we go. I'm actually going to review all the episodes I am behind on Liar Liar. God help me. Welcome back to the VikingGnomeAnime, the anime channel with only the most based takes on internet. Today we are looking at episode 6 of Liar Liar, and oh boy, I now remember why I took a 6-7 week break from this show, because holy, I remember just how difficult this one can be to watch. Well, as I explained, I'll be planning to review every single episode that I have missed, which is 5 or so episodes, in a compilation video, and we are starting out with this one. So episode 6, well, Noah and Shinohara has their treasure hunt game. I guess the game this time around is a bit better explained than the last one, and you can sort of understand the rules better and in a more straightforward fashion than the last one, which is good, sure, but there are many issues with this show and this episode that I still just cannot get around. First of all, I am so stuffed up with this illegal ability, black market ability setup. It's like, okay, so you supposedly have these cleared legal abilities, but I guess people can just get these black market abilities willy-nilly, which we see Noah having 3 of in this game. And of course, Shinhara also cheating his way to victory in some sense. But it's like, okay, why even have like a system if it's so easy to get illegal or black market abilities or even hack the system? Like what even makes this a cohesive thing then? If it's so easy just to cheat, basically. It just makes it really hard for me to get into the games and get into all the intricate thought processes and potential strategies and planning when you have this weird setup of going outside the system to just win anyway. That brings me into another big criticism I have with this show so far, is that since they have done no groundwork to explain like all the abilities there are, which I can understand in one sense because I assume there are like hundreds of abilities total, right? So you can't just go through explaining all of them, but since you don't know how many abilities there are, and of course you have the unlimited like hacked abilities or black market abilities, it's impossible to really understand or really think through what is going to happen and understand each process, because even if you think one party is going to win, it's like, aha, huzzah, I pulled another ability out of the endless hat of abilities, and this ability just happens to win me the game. It's like, okay, but as a viewer, that makes it really tough to sort of understand what you can do with this, and it seems to just have like an endless supply of either legal or illegal abilities you can use, either through legal or hacked means, so no matter what situation you're in, it seems you can just win anyway. So where's the tension? Where's the suspense? Where's anything really? And to me, it's not really there. It's just not there for me. There are also many things in this episode I was not fond of. Like apparently the green star allows mind reading of some sort, or I don't know, mind perception or movement prediction, something. I mean, that just seems incredibly difficult to even contemplate the consequences of in terms of using it and the balance of that. But whatever, not gonna go into that. And of course, the whole Noah saga with her acting the evil villain and then playing the victim card as soon as she loses, and then Shinohara doing the whole hero routine. No, I'll save you. It's like, okay. I mean, I'm not even gonna go into it. I'm not even going to. And then the whole shabacle about, okay, if he wins, then Yuki has to leave the island because of some reason. I forget even, because it's so long since I saw episode 5. But something with device and destruction ability on the phone, or incriminating information, or something else. Who knows? But that didn't happen because of Shinohara using his sleek intellect, I suppose, to win the game in the end, and transferring the hacked abilities over to Noah's phone, yada yada yada. But again, it's like, in the end here, this show, it's like, okay, it's trying to be sort of a classroom of the elite, but in like a game-esque mode, right? And the show can, in and of itself, be entertaining if it's done right, but making a concept like this really engrossing and intriguing and fun to watch means you have to really plan out how these things work and really take time to explain each aspect and understand everything to really be able to live yourself in this world, right? But either the author or the adaptation has clearly not been able to properly set these things up so you can actually feel like this is a realistic, okay, like somewhat decently made world. At least not for me. Which makes it incredibly hard to feel engrossed with practically anything. Anyway, I'm not going to go on too long as I have 5 more episodes to watch, oh god. But with that being said, what did you think of episode 6? Like it, hate it, whatever else, leave those below. And I will see you in the next episode review coming in 2 seconds. See you then.
A few moments later.
And welcome back. It is time to review episode 7, and oh boy. I mean, I guess there were some higher light points in this episode, but a lot of bullshit too. Okay, so you are telling me that the start of this episode, when Shinohara just does his recording camera stuff and exposes this corruption and horrible evil deeds by this headmaster of the 12th Academy, it's like, okay, you are telling me that this person, this headmaster of the 12th district, that just got busted basically doing illegal stuff and cheating and such. You're telling me that this guy, who has clearly done a lot of, quote-unquote evil, illegal, cheating stuff in the past, many such things, I assume, over years and years, has no security system, has no method at all to, let's say, record entrances or soundproof the room or do anything to, let's say, just keep some random pupil from just getting a drone and recording him when he has these private meetings. You're telling me he has no security for this at all, and he's been doing this for years and years. So is he like an incompetent evil genius or what? I guess he's just quite dumb, and no one tried to even do anything about it until Shinohara. I mean, that's the only logical explanation, I assume. Anyway, he gets busted, and I assume he has to step down, or something along those lines. They don't mention specifics, but I assume something like that happened, or is gonna happen. Anyway, kind of stupid that I did it that way, but I guess some evil guys are just stupid. As well as, of course, actually admitting directly to her what he did, instead of, let's say, saying things in code, or being, let's say, not as direct. Anyways, moving on. If not, I'm gonna get caught up too many times in this review. So, the day after, the headmistress of the Ame Academy that Shinohara is at, she's gloating, she apparently drank herself to sleep, being so happy and feasting and celebrating about this headmaster being gone that she apparently didn't like, or something along those lines. Then again, to be honest here, we can just expect that every single academy headmistress or headmaster in this island, on this island, are just corrupt and evil as fuck. I mean, trying to not find a headmaster that is cheating on this island is probably like trying to find a Ukrainian government official that isn't corrupt. That's right, there are none. Anyways, moving on. We also find out that Noah, who clearly stated, and we know from this recording, etc., about the headmaster that came out, that the live stream that everyone saw, they know that she cheated. She used illegal abilities and all these other things. Every student, everyone at the academy and on the island knows this. Everyone knows this, yes? Good. But there was no official punishment. She got no punishment at all, because I guess it's no big deal that students cheat the system openly, and everyone knows about it, and there's no punishment at all. I guess that sounds like a really bad administrative decision, but okay, sure, why not? And then they show this poll of Ame Academy students that 99.5% don't blame her for what she did. That, she's innocent, it wasn't her fault, etc., etc. It's like, okay. So, are these people at the academy just stupid, or what? I mean, I assume they're just extremely, extremely tribal, basically taking on the standard political party approach of, oh no, if the person's from my party, they can't have done anything wrong. They must have been coerced. They must have been forced. No, it's not their fault. No, it's the other side. Yes. I guess that's the thing they're going for here, because that just seems absolutely retarded. But okay, moving on. Oh, she did give Shinohara the green star, though, as penance, I suppose. But I didn't know you could just give stars away, because they didn't have a battle, right? So I guess she just gave it away. Sure, okay. I'm not really going to mention the whole couple store thing, because apparently they could go to this ability shop, because you have ability shops in this world where you buy abilities, because you don't just get them, you have to buy them. Then you also have to have the star rank necessary to use them. But yeah, they go to this shop, but only couples are allowed to buy from this shop, because the owner has like a couple fetish, I guess. And they pass the test or whatever else, and they are allowed to buy from the shop, even though Rina has bought from the shop before, because she got the pinch hitter ability from last episode there before. So you don't have to be a couple, but I guess she just wants most people to be sold to them. This raises a lot of questions, though, like about these ability shops, because I don't think they have even once explained how these things work. So you have these shops that sell abilities, and outside the base ones, I guess everyone gets, you have to buy other abilities from these different shops. How many shops are there? Are there just like hundreds of them? How do the shops get abilities to sell? Do they buy a certain allotment of abilities from like a central, let's say, wholesaler that covers all the ability sellers on the island, and they have to apply something to be allowed to buy from them and then sell abilities to students? Or how does this system work at all? Like, how do you figure out if a shop owner, like, how does a shop owner get unique or special or rare abilities in their shop versus other owners that don't have them? Like, how is this worked out? How does this function? How does any of these shops coexist? Like, what's the deal? I don't know. I would really like to know, because it could be interesting to know about that, but I don't think they've even once explained how these ability shops work. Also, they didn't explain how they buy them. Like, Rina said to Shinohara after the fact that, okay, you got all these, or you bought all these abilities because of me, because I got you in the shop. But what did you buy them with? Money? Is there a special currency? Have they said something about this before? Am I just forgetting? I don't know. Then we have the very, very contrived bikini bathroom bath scene, which is, okay, I mean, waifu, ecchi, I'm all for it. I approve on a base level, and I'm not going to comment on how forced or contrived these relationships are. It's just waifu stuff, get over it. But again, this showcases a big issue with the show in that this is clearly based off of fairly ecchi material, but it is not animated in a style that lends itself well to ecchi, and they really haven't done much of any work so far to include ecchi elements like there are supposed to be, as far as I know, based on the source material, as far as I have heard anyway. And that means that this ecchi scene as well doesn't really hit that well because you haven't established an ecchi theme, even though it's listed as ecchi as well on the genre categories. So that just makes this fall pretty flat. And again, it isn't animated in a style or in a way that lends itself well to ecchi. So, fine, I guess we get some light ecchi-esque stuff. Sure, why not? Also, Noah seems completely just happy with Shinohara now, not in some evil mood anymore, I suppose. So, is this just to show that Noah is very bipolar? Or what? I mean, I guess that would just account for most of the female population. You know, it is a feature, not a bug, as they say. But I guess she might be extra bipolar in comparison to the average female. The most interesting part of this episode, though, was definitely the whole section when they are talking about this domination game, they're having this inter-academy competition soon, and we get to sort of figure out, okay, what role is Shinohara going to have in this team of 5 different character types you can select? And then raising the question of, okay, the movement value I got is based off a lie, so if I don't get the right position, you know, I will be exposed to my teammates, which will ruin my, you know, my 7-star lie, etc., etc., etc. So then it creates a situation of he has to lie to both his enemies and his allies. He has to manage these things at the same time. Now that can be a very interesting, fun concept to play around with. He has to play people on both sides, basically, except for Himeji, of course. And they do set this up in a decent enough way to where I'm interested to see where they go with it, but I don't have high hopes. But, you know, I can dream, anyways. But it's also raised the question of, like, does it really matter? So, like, even if you got in a position where you have to use these movement points you get and you would be quote-unquote exposed, can't you just cheat your way out of it? I mean, you've cheated already a lot to get these ability things before, right? So can't you just cheat the number? Like, is that really impossible, since you've cheated so much already? Maybe, I guess, I don't know. But again, it just also makes these games very redundant, since he has, like, all these abilities to cheat, or the company, quote-unquote, does. So, can he really not do anything? Can't he just change the values as he wants? Since apparently the cheating is practically past no limits, it seems like. But playing along the point of maybe he can't for some reason, hopefully it can become interesting. If they just start cheating again, though, to win this game, I will be very depressed. Try not to cheat, okay? Thank you. I would like to know how Noah, though, is going to have a relationship with Shinohara moving forward, because she doesn't really know his secret, right? No, I think. So, what does she know? I mean, she said before she knows he was lying or cheating, but maybe she doesn't know exactly how or what. But now they're probably having a better relationship, but how is this going to affect things moving forward? How is she going to sort of be towards him, and how are they going to interact, etc., etc.? I don't know. I assume they will just not really ponder this point at all, and just continue on being happy-go-lucky, and not really ever think about the background for how she came to be in this position she now is. Oh, at the end we also get another fake Sarasa popping up. So, guess that'll be a major plot point next episode. Anyway, in this show, it's like, there are glimpses of good things, there really are. Sometimes just, you think like, this could be good if it was in a show that was done way better. But it's not, so it probably isn't going to be. But I will still hold off hope for another episode or two. I'll keep on smoking the hopium till I die. Anyways though, I'll see you in episode 8. Bye-bye.
1 hour later.
Alright, back again for episode 8. Well, this episode was not that eventful, I suppose. Probably the least eventful episode, quote-unquote, in terms of plot so far on the show. It was just mainly setting up for the game, and I'm sure a lot of intrigue that is going to happen next episode and the episode after. So, well, how was it? Well, I mean, the fake Sarasa had her call with Rina and Shinohara, and she did something I did not expect. Basically, to pressure them into her own sort of game in this academy competition, she threatened that since she now looks exactly like Rina, I don't know how, like AI, or I guess she's a real person, so I don't really know, but apparently for some reason, since she looks exactly like Rina and has the exact same body, question mark, somehow, some way, question mark, she threatened that if they didn't agree to the game, she would strip herself and expose herself and play with herself on the internet, on a stream, for every student to see. Meaning they would effectively see Rina doing those things, as she looks just like her, body and all, apparently. Now, okay, that is an interesting negotiation tactic and pressure tactic. I haven't seen that one before. So, yeah, okay, good on you. Moving on. So, the disgraced headmaster of the 12th Academy didn't lose his position. I feel like cheating and basically being corrupt and all these things would qualify as losing your position as principal, but I guess that's not bad enough to lose your job in this world, on this academy island. Instead, the only punishment he got was not being able to participate, or his academy not being allowed to participate in the game, which I guess is a decent punishment. But again, I expected him to be fired, you know, but I guess not. They take more kindly to just cheating and everything in this world, in this school system. And for some reason, since the 12th Academy couldn't participate, this fake Sarasa joined the competition in place of the 12th Academy, using their spot, somehow, some way, no idea why, no idea how, or no idea how, rather. It's like, oh, okay, did she hack her way in? Like, what's going on here? I don't know. And of course, for some reason, Shinohara got a very nice backstory based on a Libra news article that I'm sure the headmistress planted or something at Anime Academy, where the backstory seems to be that he finished college at 5. Yes, that's correct. 5 years old. And since then, has gone through some hellish on human training as like a special ops game training, basically, to be the best of the best. I mean, not the worst backstory I've heard. So, good on you, I suppose. We do get a very nice sort of comfy scene, though, or section of scenes with this middle school girl with the different colored eyes. That was very cute, very adorable. Would love to see more of her moving forward. I'm sure she's going to be pivotal in some way or form, and I assume that she's going to turn out being evil or something, or being used in some evil ploy against Shinohara. But still, she's adorable, so I approve. For some reason, though, at the end of the episode, this blonde chick ends up attacking this other academy early while they were negotiating. She saw something, as we see in the reflection of her eye, but she doesn't explain herself and just runs off at the end of the episode. Very female-like. So I assume now someone will have to go chase her down and actually get the story of why she did what she did and fix their teamwork, which is in the gutter. Well, I guess that's what's gonna have to happen next episode. Again, not the most eventful episode, but fine enough. I'm fine with not having insane plot twists every episode, and I'm thankful there wasn't too much in this episode I had to deconstruct to be mad about as well. Anyways, that'll be it for this one, and I will see you in episode 9 in about 2 seconds.
One humongous meal later.
And welcome back. It is time for episode 9, and oh boy, well, this one was a bit of a mess, I have to say. First of all, let me start out by saying, if you are, I don't know, anywhere over 15, or even just any age really, as a guy, do not, under any circumstance, randomly go to the hotel room of like a 12-year-old girl, play video games with her till like 2 a.m., and leave her hotel room after that fact, in the middle of the night. It doesn't matter what you were doing, it matters what people think you were doing. if there's one way to make yourself a social outcast and never get a job or any sort of respect for the rest of your life, and maybe even be tied to the stake, it is by doing stuff like that. What actually happened doesn't matter. What people think might have happened matters. Now with that public service announcement over with, let's continue with the episode. So at the start of this episode, the imposter person just one-shots all these people in one academy to start. Which raises the question of, okay, but we have 5 lives that reset at the start of every period, yes? And the new period just started, but they just did one sword swing and one-shot them. But again, they are supposed to have 5 lives, right? Which means they would be able to take 5 sword slashes or whatever, or 5 ability uses. But they only took 1. Does that mean the doppelganger is also cheating by one-shotting people, or what's going on here? I don't know. Didn't explain it, but okay. A big pet peeve as well as this episode is just the absolute shit show about the teamwork from the AMA Academy. It's like these 2 6-star people are just always arguing, but they of course care about each other deep down, all that tropey stuff there. But, dude, why are you acting like you are 5 years old? Stop arguing and get your shit together. You are, yeah, not adults maybe, but you are still teenagers, and older teenagers at that. So get your shit together and do what you are supposed to do. Don't squabble like you are actually 5 in kindergarten and someone took your toy, okay? It bugs me to no end. And also it's Shinohara, or Shinohara, wow, names, difficult. Like, you are the commander, the team and the cohesiveness and teamwork of the team is your responsibility. You are the leader. So dress your ranks and sort this stuff out. Don't just let each of these people just walk off annoyed and not talk to them. Go to each of them, talk to them together, and straighten out these bullshitty 5-year-old behavior shits that's going on, and get your team working as one unit. That is a important, perhaps one of the most important, if not the most important job as the leader and commander in this case. So that he just stood by and let this shit go on for the entire episode is just, ay. Another big issue though in this episode for me was that when they are fighting, especially the old girl academy, it's like, okay, you're using all these abilities and stuff like that, but I don't really know what's going on. You haven't really explained the plan, and you retroactively explain it somewhat, but when things are going on, we don't really know what is going on, because we don't really understand every detail of what's going on, and we don't even understand how all of these things work. For example, the one-shot kill ability of the leader of the girls' academy, like, yeah, we just get told it's a special ability. How does it work? What are the conditions? We don't know. We weren't told. Why? Same with, like, all the ability uses. Like, I was told there was going to be a time freeze, and time freeze makes you, what, unable to move or use abilities, right? At least unable to use abilities, right? So, but you just used so many of them, and you still just kept using them over and over and over again. So, what? Is time freeze not a thing? Or like, what's going on here? Did I miss something? Did they not explain something? Did they retroactively just undo something and not say anything? I don't know, but oh my god, dude, it is getting annoying with these things. So yeah, I mean, as a whole, the whole fighting aspect was like, I don't even know what's going on here. I mean, it's kind of entertaining enough when you get the Shinohara showing himself off and being all smug and stuff. I can enjoy that, but it's still, it messes up a lot of the enjoyment when you don't really get to live in the moment and enjoy the immersion of the anime and the episode, because you just don't understand all the different details of what is going on, because they either haven't explained it, or they retroactively undid something they did explain before, or you just don't understand what's going on half the time. At the end, of course, we get to see the very obvious that, oh yeah, these 2 people care about each other, and he was just trying to protect her, and yeah. Sure, yes, good guy, good for you. And they make up and such. And then we find out that Shinohara offed himself, in-game, of course, and is eliminated from the contest, but that it's all playing into his plan, because as he says, to defeat the doppelganger, they must use unconventional tactics. So, I guess we'll have to see what that is about, because apparently the doppelganger, has different teams under her thumb, and, well, we'll have to see how all that works out. One loose theory I just came up with as he was saying that, I thought, okay, so are you just going to use that one ability that Yuki was getting to exchange, what was it, to exchange the position of you and one of your teammates or something like that, then use that to get back in the game while she goes out of the game? I don't remember the exact thing because I didn't note it down in my notes here, but if that's what you're going to do, I guess we'll have to see. Anyway, but yeah, also, one obvious thing, well, I hope it doesn't happen, But as many have pointed out, which I agree with, is that this, middle school girl, right, that's assumingly participating in this side thing to win the prize of being a sixth participant on the team they want. I mean, they are either positioning her to win this side competition, and since she likes Shinohara so much, she will be the sixth member of his team, or she's just like the double ganger or something in disguise, and that's what she is like, and she just has some like evil alter ego persona. It would be really obvious and dumb if they used her to be the double ganger in the end. Hopefully, it's just like she is like an introverted girl and she wins the side competition and joins the Shinohara team. That could be cute. But yeah, I guess, again, we will have to see. Anyways, though, overall, a bit of a mess of an episode. The more they try to chew off in one episode, the less enjoyable it tends to be, because they just aren't capable of doing it, apparently, seemingly. But again, you have to try to enjoy what's there, which at times is not a lot. Anyways, though, did you like the episode, hate it? Leave your thoughts below, and I will see you in another 2 seconds for episode 10. See you then.
12 sleepless hours later.
Well, this is finally the final episode of the episodes currently released, episode 10 of Liar Liar. Hey, this one was another doozy, I have to say. We do finally find out, for sure, who 100 Faces is. And yeah, wow, no surprise, it is the, 12, 13-year-old girl, middle schooler, that is her. Which was very obvious, I suppose, from the start when she was introduced, but for many, myself included, it felt too obvious to really be what they were going for, right? But no, that's what they were going for. So, I guess she's the final villain of Season 1. That'll be interesting, I suppose. Maybe. Kind of. I mean, she's a cute character, at least when she's not in her evil face. One thing, though, I realized when they finally, for sure, revealed who 100 Faces is, it's like, this girl, who is 12, 13, or somewhere around there. I mean, she's a middle schooler, which in Japan, I suppose, is from age, 12 to 15, or around there. But she looks on the young side and acts on the young side, so I'm gonna assume she's 12, 13 years old. So quite a young girl, right? But then remember, just a few episodes ago, she is the one that acted and took on the shape and face, whatever, of Rina, or Sarasa, and threatened her that if she didn't play her game, she would strip herself, expose herself, and play with herself on camera for all these students. And she is, 12, 13 years old. That is not something I expect most any, or literally any, 12, 13-year-old girls do. That is what is going on here? Hello? I mean, Japan being Japan, I guess, but that is not what I expected at all. I expected at least a somewhat more adult female to make that sort of threat. But I guess she is very meta, so she goes balls to the wall, where she is beyond her years, clearly. Anyway, though, outside of that whole debacle, so apparently she got into the game because the principal that was booted from him and the academy, who were booted from the competition, still, he was on the management committee for the event, so he could get a person in for their academy. But how does it even work? It's his academy was disqualified, so how could he get someone to take the place of the 12th Academy and call itself the 12th Academy? Doesn't that neglect the point of the 12th Academy as an entity being banned from this event? How does that make sense? I don't know. Anyways, moving on. I don't know how many times this anime I have said, how does that make sense? But I don't know, dude. This anime is such a mess in so many places. They're trying to do so many things and failing at so many things. It doesn't matter how hard you try if you can't succeed at least modestly in some areas. And then the whole story arc with Libra taking the fall if she wins or if she doesn't win, and something going on behind the scenes with that. I don't really know what, because they don't really go into specifics, but something happening behind the scenes, which we might never know about, but, well, whatever. Then the Libra person, the announcer girl, helps Shinohara to get into this other side tournament because he offs himself in the last episode, end of the last episode. And the question was why he was offing himself, and his plan was what? Simply to make a triumphant return, sort of like a resurrected Jesus-esque storyline, and that alone would be so motivational he could gather other academies under one umbrella to fight the other faction. And apparently that was his plan. His entire plan. He offed himself in the game to do that entire comeback story, and that's it. I mean, he isn't Jesus, and he isn't really resurrecting himself in that sense, but I guess he is. But I mean, is that action alone enough to make all these people be like, oh yeah, now we definitely have to form an alliance? Couldn't you just have gone for the alliance anyway? Like, the main motivation for the alliance would be that A, you were a 7-star before you offed yourself, B, these people would do anything to not lose a star, as Rena put it in the start of the episode. So why did you have to off yourself in the first place, and then do this whole comeback resurrection story to get the alliance going? I don't think you would have needed to, but what do I know? Plot lines, they have to fill an episode with something, and I guess they had to do that because they wanted a mechanic or a plot line, a narrative line, to work so that they could reveal who 100 Faces is by having him battle her at the end of the episode in this other event. But I don't know, dude. That's just, oof. It's a bit tough to swallow that one as well. There are a lot of other logical things, so like logical conclusions and like how things actually work I would like to discuss. But there are so many I made note of this episode. It's like, why even bother? Why should I even discuss all these things? How it works, how it doesn't work, how all this makes sense, when clearly I am putting more thought into how these things actually work when you extrapolate them than the author or the adaptation team did. So why should I? Right? Also, I'm not, really. At least not on most of this. Also, to win this game versus this 100 Faces at the end, he had to cheat openly to win. Well, not openly, because only he knew the number she actually had, but he won. And of course, 100 Faces knows he cheated because she knows what her number was. So she thought he was amazing after that, so I guess she respects his cheating? Like a cheater respects another cheater? I'm not sure how that interacts, but okay, sure. But I'm not sure he should be gloating or be so happy about just openly cheating and winning. It's like, okay, you cheated and you won. I guess good on you. I mean, the other party was cheating too, so I guess it's fair game then, but still, nothing to really brag about. That is still the biggest negative about this anime that I can think of. It's just that they have made this universe. They are really trying to, have this sort of political intrigue and motivations and just, let's say, deeper, darker-esque gray area storyline narrative going on with the whole politics of the whole island and how all these things interact outside of the school and game system. Then, of course, you have the game system, and then, of course, you also have the characters and character relationships, motivations, etc. They're trying to have all these different categories mixed into one cohesive, complete narrative, but they are failing on practically every front, which makes the entire thing look like a mess most of the time. And the cheating, for example, is one mechanic I just really do not like at all. More actively dislike in this anime. Because again, you have no tension, you never feel like there's any sense of urgency, or there's any sense of accomplishment, or there's any just excitement or feeling tense that things might go wrong, or not knowing how someone's going to get out of something, because you know that, well, if he really has to, he'll just cheat. He'll just cheat his way to victory. He'll just come up with a new cheat, or ask his friend to make a new cheat for him, so he wins the game anyway. So it doesn't really matter how the odds are. It doesn't really matter what any other person does, because he's the main character. He's gonna get cheats made for him to win the day every time. So there's no sense of anything. Like, you don't get any immersion in that. It just feels like, well, I guess he won again because he cheated again. Yay. Like, it is just, why even make a system like that then? You're trying to make this whole game system, but you're just breaking it every episode. And openly so. It's like, well, everyone's cheating. The system doesn't even work, because everyone can just cheat all they want, and there's no consequences. Like even the principal that openly got caught cheating and doing underhanded stuff, not even getting fired. Like, okay, I guess it's a dog-eat-dog world in this anime, but I am not vibing with it at all so far. The best I can hope for is some decent ecchi and some sort of cute stuff with the middle schooler, and not in that way, okay? Not in that way, but I mean actually adorable things, okay? Why did I say ecchi before that? God damn it. But that's all I can hope for the rest of the season, the last 2 episodes. And I don't know. I mean, I'll make a review of this anime when it's over, for sure. I will be making a lot of criticisms and a lot of notes. But until then, hope you enjoyed this elongated compilation episode review video. This might be an hour by now. Guess we'll see how much I trim it down. But I will see you in episode 11, as I will continue just finishing off the season as I've gotten so far now. Hopefully you liked this compilation video. If you did like this new sort of concept idea I'm playing with of having these longer compilation review videos instead of just doing one-on-one if I am behind, or if I want to do just more compact videos on shows that are already out or close to being out, then please let me know down below what your thoughts are on this format. Also, please leave any other comments you might want to on the show or on my commentary or anything else. Also, do please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you've been sitting through the video so far. Even if you just skipped to this point, your support would be greatly appreciated. So that being said, I hope you have a great day, and now I will go actually binge a good anime to make a compilation video of. So see you in the next one. Bye bye.